Hi everyone, welcome to the page and today's edition. Please, as you are coming across this page on Facebook, give me a thumbs up in the like section and share your thoughts and opinion with me there in the comment section. Let's interact and know what's going on and how you're feeling about every post and videos updates coming from the page. Please stay focused and welcome to the page. I appreciate all my fans. I appreciate all my followers, those interacting with me there in the comment section. I appreciate you. Those giving me a thumbs up in the like section, I appreciate you. Welcome to the page. I wouldn't have been here without your support and effort. It is your support and effort that has brought me so far here in the page. What we do in this page is international news, 24 hours and 7 days in the week. And this week is going to be update upon update. Please stay focused and pay very good attention to every update that is coming out from this page. It is very, very necessary. All right, without wasting much of your time today, I have a lot of updates here in the page. Please stay focused and pay very good attention. Don't forget to watch this video till the end. It is very, very important. Let's go to the video that we have here. You are welcome.
Happy Shavuot, Feast of Weeks, 7 sevens, and on the 50th day, you have this celebration, and we celebrate the giving of the Torah and the Torah within us. And there was fire on the Mount Sinai, and you know what, though? I think of the Nazis, and there's this story of a Jewish person before he got shot. He was asking, why do you hate us so much? Why exterminate all of us? And he said, it's because of your Torah. It's because of your moral code. It's because of what God gave us. Now, our tradition says it was now that it was given to us. And we see that hate continue. We see yesterday, June 1st, in Boulder, Colorado, a 45-year-old guy called Mohammed Sabri Suleiman. He's an Egyptian man illegally in the United States. He attacks a peaceful pro-hostage awareness group. They're just saying our brothers and sisters are in those tunnels being tortured by Hamas. He attacks these guys with an improvised flamethrower and Molotov cocktails. A bottle, you put a rag in a bottle and turn it into a bomb, and injuring 8, and including an 88-year-old Holocaust survivor. And the attack occurred just before this holiday of Shavuot. And Suleiman shouted anti-Israel, anti-Zionist slogans as he burned the demonstrators alive, exposing this real violent, deepening crisis of violent anti-Semitism in the United States. Unheard of, I know, unthinkable, but it's there. And this assault is like a string of anti-Israel attacks, like the one in the embassy, right? Or that they had left, the staffers of the embassy had just left the embassy. They went to this museum and they were killed, Lashinsky and Milgram. And you remember that the Pennsylvania governor's office, there was an arson attack there too. So global Jewish leaders and U.S. advocacy groups are currently really warning that anti-Semitism is escalating under this disguise of pro-Palestinian activism. But they're growing a cancer. They're growing something very, very evil in the United States. And so it's driven by this radical education. It's driven by a brainwash, and it's driven by the media. And so we're seeing that it's like a decay of the society as we know it. So there's an urgent call here to arise, to pray, to take action, to stand with Israel, and to confront this hatred, this jihadist hatred, and really prepare for Aliyah. I mean, a lot of Jewish people are going to make Aliyah. You remember that word Aliyah? That's what I do. I have the Aliyah Return Center. And helping Jewish people to return is going to be very, very, very important. And it's not just this one attack, guys. It's really not. This Target run for this festival, this Run for Their Lives, was a peaceful weekly awareness. And I knew that also Christian Zionists will come under attack. Danny Danone, who's our UN ambassador, he said, it's not called protests when it's terrorism. And even the Mark Dubowitz warned of a growing pro-Hamas terrorism in the United States. The ADL, Anti-Defamation League leader, Jonathan Greenblatt, he said, you got to take action against these attacks. If they say it's protests, it's really not. You can see through this. And it's not just in the US. What about in UK, Australia, France? So I'm just realizing that people are forgetting the very foundational principles America was established on in Genesis 12, verse 3. Bless Israel, you'll be blessed. And people are even even prominent spokespersons that are, you know, like Candace Owens, like Thomas Friedman, Tucker Carlson, their statements aren't fueling togetherness, the Judeo-Christian foundational principles. No, it's actually fueling hatred, and jihadi ideology is increasing as people are losing they're being brainwashed, and it's so sad. You know, it's so sad. I heard that, you know, 51% of the interviewed 18 to 24-year-olds support ending Israel, giving the whole country to Hamas. Can you believe that? 60% believe that Hamas's actions were justified. 53% say it's okay to call for Jewish genocide on campuses. To call for the extermination of Jewish people on campuses. Can you believe that? So this is something you would have never, ever imagined could ever possibly happen when people are saying, you know, globalize the Intifada. That we were killed, we were murdered in the Intifada. My mom was almost killed, right? You have from the river to the sea. That's the entirety of Israel, from the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea. Globalize the Intifada, free Palestine. These things are evil. We have to have the fire on the altar. We have to be able to pray for Israel. And we have to take action. I'll tell you what, IDF, my guys, are taking action. Mohammed Sinwar, the brother of Yahya Sinwar, he's eliminated. He will no longer be able to dig those huge tunnels. I was in the Sinwar tunnel. It's just, he'll not going to be able to do that anymore. Also, Mohammed Shabana, he's the commander of the Rafah Brigade. He's been eliminated. Guys, we're advancing well. We're putting the squeeze, putting the pressure cooker on these terrorists. And I want to tell you this, Netanyahu said a very interesting thing about the head of the octopus, about Iran's nuclear program. And he says, when you see this infographic of how the Hamas command center was hidden under a European hospital in Gaza, he says, this has got to stop. He said what the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Association, put a report out about these hidden sites, Iranian nuclear sites underground. And he said, it's got to stop. Herzog, our president, said, it's got to stop. He says, the International Atomic Energy Agency today issued a condemning unprecedented report exposing the true nature, the true goal of Iran, and that is to produce nuclear weapons, nuclear bomb. They're going completely against the nuclear non-proliferation treaty, and it's a red alert. The international community must take action immediately. You know, I think of this and I say, I think of heroes of the past who thought appeasing the enemy might work. But then you have heroes that arise and speak truth, like Winston Churchill. And he said, an appeaser is like one who feeds a crocodile hoping it'll eat him last. He knows he's going to get eaten, but he's hoping it's last. Ronald Reagan once said, those who appease the aggressor are feeding the flames of war. Dante said the hottest places in hell are reserved for those who in time of moral crisis preserve their neutrality. Listen to that. President Kennedy once said, let everyone know we shall pay any price, bear any burden to assure the survival and the success of liberty. I think of the heroes, like even the kids watch these Marvel movies. Think of just the Marvel movies. They stood in the gap against all odds to stand for what's right. You think of Captain America in the Marvel movies, and he said, you can compromise where you can, but where you can't, don't compromise. Even if everyone's telling you that something wrong is something right. Isaiah 66, verse 15, says, the Lord will come with fire, and he will execute judgment. That's on those foes that attack Israel. And we want to be on the right side of history. We want to stand for freedom. We want to stand for the Judeo-Christian way. We want to stand for democracy. We want to stand for what's right. Happy Pentecost, happy Shavuot.